The mystical power of Laghima. Laghima is the gift of weightless levitation, the ability to hover in the air without gravitating to the ground. The yogi, sage, or shaman can remain as high as the clouds, unseen by those who are focused on lower energies. They can meet for prayer this way and remain unseen and undisturbed. This ability has been utilized in history to protect oneself from one's enemies. It has been recorded in the holy books dating back to 5,000 years BC. This ability is auspicious and is displayed today by starseeds and indigos worldwide. It is a high and holy devotion. The mystical power of Prapti. Bilocation or Prapti is the ability to be in many places at the same time, having power over one's location at will, moving in and out of the timeline and interdimensionally. The ability to walk in simultaneous past, present, and future, visiting other dualities and places while remaining seen at a pre-chosen location. This ability is auspicious and frees the citta from the confines of the third-dimensional reality and body. This is a power that is displayed by all high masters and high yogis worldwide. The mystical ability of Prakamya. Prakamya, manifesting physical substance at will. The power to materialize matter and events. This Siddhis is never used to manifest money or wealth, as this thinking comes from the lower chakra vibrational level. The true citta uses this energy for unifying sustainability in their spiritual expression. In the spiritual expression or demonstration of the starseed self, the ability to manifest allows one to pull the law of attraction, gravitational forces, into reality. This power can never be used by the egoist, for they are functioning from the lower consciousness contained within the lower root chakras. This is an ability that comes from the higher chakras, the crown and the ajna. Prakamya is also used by the Siddhi masters to reverse the aging process. With this gift, age can be moved forward or backward depending on the necessity of the Siddha. Some may remain at one age for decades, even centuries. This has been noted in historical texts as far back as 5,000 years BC. In the case of the child Siddha, their age can be frozen to a year that is most useful for their purposeful good and abilities. This is called a ja, as addressed in the ancient literatures. The ja is a mystical ability of the indigo. The mystical ability of Dura-sravana. Dura-sravana is the ability of hearing and locating voices from great distances. The yogi can hear the voices of anyone who speaks their name, no matter how far away they are from the speaking persons. In the West, this is sometimes called remote hearing and the gift of pure clairvoyance. This mystical ability is accessed through the brow chakra, the ajna, and the sahasrara, the upper chakras. This is a high ability of Siddhis, and it is taken through great practice, devotion, and application of the inner yogas of the mind and breath. The mystical ability of Dura-darsanam. Dura-darsanam in the West is called remote viewing. This is an application of spiritual power that is utilized by the layman, the yogi, the shaman, the starseed, and the indigo. The yogi using this sattva can watch events taking place far away, including future events. This mystical siddhis is being utilized today to predict weather, earth changes, and to bring about a view of the spiritual climate on the planet and in the cosmos. This is the mystical power that is being utilized for communicating with extraterrestrials. It is through this line of energy, through the silver cord of the Sahasrara, that is powered by the Merkabic field and the blue corona, that one achieves the ability to bring this communication forward. It utilizes higher frequencies that are available to the higher power and the higher mind, frequencies that are not available to machinery, computers, and databases. All upper frequencies focus toward Dura-darsanam. Remote viewing is a very powerful tool being utilized by governments and starseed alike. This power is enriched by the very fact that it is a birthright to the starseed. The mystical ability of Kama Rupam. Kama Rupam is the ability that is brought forth through the higher energies of the outer auric field, materializing into other forms, solid and living. In the West, this is called shapeshifting. American Indian shaman use this power and have for centuries. Yogis have been seen changing into birds and flying out of open windows. They have been seen changing into ants, crawling underneath locked doors to escape imprisonment. The holy texts speak of this as far back as 4,000 years BC. Parasita adi abhijnata. Abhijnata is the divine gift of telepathy, hearing the thoughts of others, knowing the minds of others, speaking to others without a sound or voice, communicating with animals and hearing their desires. Persons who kill and consume animals will not reach this siddhis. This is a siddhis that is intended for the higher awoke being who has brought themselves into a state of superconsciousness. In this state of superconsciousness, the ability is utilized and preferred over using the physical voice. The mystical ability of Istva. The mystical ability of Istva brings freedom to the starseed from the ego. It is the gift of possessing absolute lordship over the ego self, knowing that thoughts that come from the ego are not from the divine self, being free of the suffering that being bound to the ego brings, being free from anger, being free from judgments, being free from issues. This is also freedom from selfish thinking. This is the power of total control of one's thoughts at one's own will. The mystical ability of Parakaya pravesanam. Pravesanam, entering the body of others. In the West, this is called channeling or mediumship. A soul that has reached Ashta, in one form or another, may speak through an oracle that is alive and sentient in this moment. This is a high siddhi, ability of absolute clairvoyance. This practice has been seen throughout history as far back as the oracles of Delphi. In ancient Egypt, the oracles were utilized for instructing royalty with the directions of war and peace. Oracles today predict the future and the elemental present. Manajava. The gift of Manajava in the West is called teleportation. At will, the yogi, sage, or shaman may move the body to far locations with but a thought, even through solid walls and time, future, past, or parallel planes, as well as dimensional frequencies. Teleportation is one of the first siddhis to rise from samadhi and is experienced first by the spiritual student and yoga practitioner.